Hey everyone, it's Suzi here, and today we're playing King Arthur Legends Rise. For today's video, I'm going to give you my brutally honest 1 month review. Okay, so yes, honest review, first impressions, all that fun stuff, and hashtag not sponsored. They have started a little content creator program thing per se, but that does not influence anything I'm going to say here. I'm going to say what's terrible, I'm going to say what's great, and I'm going to give final thoughts. It's definitely a mixed bag for me, and I'm just going to be completely honest. But I'm still here, right? It's day 32. So if this was going to be a game that I didn't want to continue playing and just do the 1 week series with, I would have already stopped. So I think that does say enough. All right, so let's get into it. I did take some notes because I wanted to organize my thoughts and have them kind of in a, like in my head, plus keep on a path and not squirrel too much. Because this video could very easily be an hour or two of me just talking about all the things in the game. But I'm also going to do a separate ultimate beginner's guide going through the different areas of the game. So I'm going to try my best not to do that now. Just talk about opinions now. What's good, what's bad, what's like related to all the different aspects of trying out a new game. So let's start with first impressions. So I'm going to be completely honest, I did not love the game instantly. So let's say here, I'm on day 32. There's all this like kind of, I guess, base builder stuff. I don't know, for me this kind of felt like it cheapened the game. It made it look kind of meh. And there's all this main story. And when you do your main story in normal campaign, you actually walk through maps. And that's kind of like what you do in this adventure mode where you walk around in an open world, which is pretty cool, honestly. Let's just go to an old one. But this is the kind of thing that you do in the normal campaign of the story, but it's just following the story itself and leading you to each battle. And there's no other distractions like quests and chests, like side quest stuff. There's no other battles that are not part of the story mission, like your normal campaign missions, and that sort of thing. And honestly, this part disappointed me at first because you're like, okay, you're walking around and then you finally hit your story and you start your story. But there was no point of walking around in the normal story mode. Like in the normal story mode, it was just walking around and there were side parts of the map and there was no point to go there. They could have at least put up some little loot chests with like big amounts of gold because gold is very scarce in this game. But they didn't. And I know that they changed that because it used to be distracting because there's all these special battles that require specific heroes. And along with that, it would make people distracted and not build the main core of their account. Instead, they would build stuff just to complete these silly battles that you don't really need to complete right away. So they separate it into two different campaigns, main story and adventure, which I get now, but I still think if they're going to have that walk around the world and do stuff and talk to people, feel for the main story as well, then even though it's mostly chapter whatever based, you still need to give people loot. Just throw some chests around, do something, make it a little more interesting to walk around. But when it came to the actual dialogue itself, if you watch my video, which is the first hour of gameplay, you're gonna notice I'm not quite feeling it because the story, the dialogue, the chatting is slow. They talk really, really slow, and they pause very long before continuing to the next sentence half the time. And I was always trying to click in the center, like, okay, like you would click this in the center to keep the dialogue going, but it doesn't. You had to click off the dialogue to make the dialogue keep going, which I didn't realize at all the first hour. I thought it was just I thought it was lagging. So it was just very, very slow, which led me to story skipping. And I don't want a story skip. I want to enjoy the story. which luckily there is this theater where you can watch some of the like epic moments. I guess I can play something here, why not? But there are some interesting like scenes and cut scenes that happen, and you can relive those, I guess you could say. But I don't know, I wanted to care about the story more, and it pushed me away because it was felt like a drag. It was just very, very slow. So I think with that in mind, I just wish they would make it a little more fast paced with the chatting and a bit more, yeah, just better paced. It was just not paced well. However, in the end, when I got to the end, I don't want to spoil the big end battles. So I guess I better not actually show that video. But at the end, there was some really cool scenes and some really fun, quirky story. And then it made me wish I followed the story the whole time. So if you're a story skipper, or if you like story, I should say, but you story skipped, I might do a series where I play the game from the beginning and record all of the dialogue with audio and walking around the world, but cutting out the random battles, cutting out anything extra, and just let you go. So you can just sit there and watch the King Arthur Legends Rise, Arthurian lore, their version of the story. So that is something I'm going to do. Let me know if you guys like the idea of that. All right, so I think overall, again, my first impression, like once you get here and you get to the castle, they're like, okay, now what? Now we start opening up more dungeons. You start doing the normal battles, start getting into the grind of the different things. There's all sorts. And depending on where you are in your story, that's when you start unlocking the different features. There's clan raids. There's all sorts of stuff to unlock, right? And this is where the game started getting better for me. But up until then, I was really just not feeling it. I did not have a good first impression, and that's just me being honest. I did not like it. I think I did one live stream afterward, and I was like, ugh, this, ugh, this, ugh, this. Like, you could tell I wasn't loving it. But it grew on me, so I think that says a lot. The fact that my first impression was meh. Let me actually start clicking some heroes now. My first impression was meh, but it grew on me. So I think the fact that it grew on me makes me like it a little bit better. That or like, I don't know, respect it even better, because it's like usually if you're just not feeling something, you're probably never going to. You're like, meh, just not that into it. But some of it really did grow on me. And that's, I think, graphic-wise, like I said, the battles initially disappointed me. There's crappy grass that moves at 3 times the speed. It looks choppy. And when it rains, it makes it look less quality. When there's heat, it makes it look like it's weird. Excuse me. Distorted, like it's not, I don't know. It just looks distorted, not interesting. I think that they kind of fell short with the weather as far as how it appears in the game and during the battle. It just takes away from the quality, doesn't help it, I think. But the character designs definitely grew on me for the most part. So I'm trying to say the bad before I say the good, if you haven't noticed. So graphically, and I did not like things at first. But I think they did amazing with these non-human characters. They're absolutely stunning. Like, this is Ayan, and she's just awesome. However, they're really bad with fur. It makes it have this weird, I don't know. I guess that's whatever. But there's one thing that really bugged me with the graphics. It just felt kind of lazy. So watch Isolde's side of her face, like where my mouse is. So her hair, like, her face, like, merges into her hair. Like, what is even happening? And then watch as she moves. You're like, wait. Look at what's even happening with the face. This is weird. It's like the face starts stuff starts sticking out of the hair. I don't know. I guess maybe they adjusted it a little bit. Maybe they saw me streaming and were like, oh crap. It's still doing a couple weird things with the hair. Okay, it's not as bad as no, it is bad. Like, what's even happening with the hair in the face? I don't know. It's just weird. I know hair's not the easiest thing to do, especially with seeing how they talk about it with Godforge as well. But it's weird that there's some like lazy clipping type things where something will go through something else. And that's not the first time I saw that in this game. So I kind of was surprised. But there's a lot of clever, beautiful graphics too. Like, she looks beautiful, right? She looks really good. This is nice, interesting graphics. There's a lot of fun aspects to this too, where the characters do some really cute, funny things. I wish I could level her up right now and show you, but she like jumps and drops her weapon. So there's some nice aspects there. But yeah, I wasn't in love with the characters at first. But at first, I think we see these kind of games, and if we like dark fantasy, we're like, okay, it's just a bunch of boring humans. But they do actually do a good job of throwing in characters like this that are just visually amazing. There's Rosier, who is dark AF. Like, look at her. Creepy, bloody, psychotic, amazing character. And has a really dark story with her, and they go there. So I definitely appreciate that they kind of go there with the darker vibe of some of these things. Turin here is adorable, beautiful. I loved her instantly. Really beautiful graphics for this character as well. And I think it's just for me, I think their graphics were a little bit of a disappointment, but then they grew on me. And then you get into the battles, they're like, okay, they're amazing. When you actually see the graphics from some of these battles, it's quite impressive. Something as simple as, I guess, the boar was beautiful, I thought. Let me just play one of these boar battles here. A lot of these have these nice starting little videos, like intros for each boss. They have these even in the campaign when you fight like a random boss that's like one of the heroes you play. They had those too, which is pretty cool. But I think the graphics are pretty nice. This is 3 times speed, so if you actually slow it down and appreciate it, that's something really cool. And there's this, okay, so this first camera angle really gets you immersed into the environment, which I would appreciate, except the camera angle just keeps changing. It's not like it's zoomed in close to one character like we're doing with Godforge. It's not like it's zoomed in to the boss's point of view, or I don't know. It's just, it keeps changing. And so if you try to play this at a 3 times speed, like most people are grinding, this camera 1 is just all over the place and super jerky. So you're immediately just going to switch to camera 2. Definitely. Which still has some moments where they force you to use a camera 1 for some battles, but it's pretty cool effects like the Master of Death. There's one really cool boss there. But I think the boss battle graphics are cool, and I like that you could at least change the camera angles as well. So I think this kind of grew on me as far as the graphics go. Once I got into these boss fights, I was like, this is okay, this is lovely. This is very nice. I guess that leads me on to the gameplay. So the actual gameplay itself, you can see it's a turn-based game. So you can prioritize your skill orders, like using skill 1 and then, or skill 3, and then basic attack, and never using skill 2. That's what would happen here with Tristan. However, they got rid of the best feature of this, where you could long press and read the skill. I don't remember, when I get a new character especially, or when you're playing a bunch of characters or you change their weapons, you're like, oh crap, which one does the whatever? Or wait, is this better than this? I want to read it. You now have to go back out of it, cancel your battle, go to the characters and read their skills again. You shouldn't have to do that if this is here. And they used to have the feature. You would long press and have it. Why would they get rid of that? I don't know why they would get rid of that. It sounds terrible. So hopefully they change that in the future. I don't know. It was just really, really weird to me that they got rid of such a great feature. It was a quality of life feature that I loved, was this presets, but this could get a bit better. It would be nice if we could say use a certain skill first and then use this certain order of, like, rotate your skills in a certain order. But it also depends on if you had the vigor available. So this is like a vigor system. When they go, or at the start of their turn, plus when they use their basic attack, they charge vigor. And the vigor bar here at the bottom is for the entire team. It's not like one character has their own assigned vigor. So there's using a vigor set to build up vigor is really big for the gameplay here. You can see here the turn order is on the left side. You could change that to be like viewing the characters, who's getting hit and what debuffs or buffs are happening to them. But that's kind of pointless. You really want to see who's going when easier. Why not, right? You want to be like, okay, but unless you're boosting your attack gauge or dropping the boss's attack gauge, which you can in this boss, that's pretty cool. I think that's all done pretty well. I think the tab for information is done pretty well as well. I have to give them credit here. You can pretty well read the skills of what they do. there's some things like you don't know what they mean. Like, okay, abnormal status immunity. What's an abnormal status effect? It doesn't always show it in all the places. Barrier 16 hits before this barrier's gone. You can't tell that by looking here unless you click it. You see the 4 because it's a 4-turn barrier. But I used to think that it meant 4 hits and the barrier is gone until I realized you could actually see details there. So it's okay, right? It's all right. Let's see. So I think one thing I really like about these bosses is you probably noticed when we started there was appendages, right? You could attack the boss's tusks for this boss. And their other bosses have that as well, like where you could actually attack an appendage. Like they have arms or tendrils or claws or tusks. And you can choose whether or not to prioritize attacking a boss or just, letting the AI attack what it thinks, which isn't always the best, of course. But I really like that that's a whole other element to the game to debate about when is it good or not to attack the tusk. Like the sealed temple has this Churnos boss here, and he's pretty tough. His appendages definitely play a role. Like the very first wave, I think I can go in here. The very first wave of the boss, it has I guess wave 1, it's just legs. It's not you have to attack his legs first before, because he'll be immune to damage until you at least kill one of them. So you kind of have to attack the appendages. Then on wave 2, there's a couple different things. There is a series of tendrils, which you can ignore and just attack the boss. And then there is left arm, right arm, which I have to say, I usually attack the left arm because the stunning, but the confusion can really kill your own team because you'll just attack a random enemy or ally and you accidentally kill your own teammate. So I might start attacking the right arm instead and taking that out before attacking the boss, because that can really throw off your battle as well. But there's some really creative stuff like that. I really think that's unique. And you can see here weather is a factor, right? So night and rain. Heroes that prefer night and rain will gain environmental effects. So night, you can see this is a thing. Heroes that benefit from night gain a 30% critical strike damage increase, 10 plus 10 attack speed, and minus 5 damage taken. Now, that's important because let's say you're trying to speed tune your team. Like, I want my Morgan to go first because she places a defense down. You can remember that in this battle, it's a plus 10 speed for her. So maybe I don't need to make my Bedivere, or I don't need to make her faster than my Bedivere if I accidentally made him too fast, because she's going to go plus 10 over him, or over whatever it reads, because it's night. Like, these are things you really have to keep in mind. And it's something I haven't honestly delved enough into. Like, I just thought of that, realized that in my head right now. I speed tuned my team to make sure Morgan was faster for this battle specifically, only to realize, hello, there's a plus 10 here. Click the things, read the things. There's a lot to unpack. So it can feel a little overwhelming. I guess that would be a first impression as well. There's a lot to unpack because not only is it just like a normal game with a bunch of characters with skills, passives, gear to learn, bosses, all their skills to learn, but the whole relic system is really interesting. This is something I love about the gameplay, is the relic system. So depending on which relic you have on your character, which they all come with a relic, you actually can change their skills, and you change their elemental affinity like matchups, right? So like in this game, blue is stronger than red. Red is stronger than green, and green is stronger than blue. Kind of the opposite of Raid Shadow Legends if you play that. And each weapon gives you a different skill set. So like this is just super cool. I love that. Like this is a 2-hitter. This one is an AoE. This one is a 2-hitter, just like the other. But it changes your elements. So if you're going in a battle where you know you don't want to be weak to that boss, like Morgan is amazing. She's the hero we get for free, which I think is very generous. And if you are going against certain bosses, you might prefer the Frost Relic, which is awesome, honestly. really good relic. Attack gauge, increasing allies' attack, gaining a shield. Like, this is such a good relic for her. I really want that frost relic. But in some situations, maybe you want the wind or storm one, I mean. Storm. Like, it's just so cool that they have this. It just adds a whole other element to the game, literally, because it's not just pulling a character and all their skills are what they are. You also level up the skills for a relic, not only leveling up the skills for the passives of a hero, which is super cool, I think. I don't know. I like it. All right, let's see here. So I guess PvP is another gameplay aspect we should talk about, right? So there's the Colosseum, and I'm just gonna leave this one quickly. PvP sucks. Sorry. They need to change this. This is terrible. And they do rotate the weather, which I think is cool, because then different heroes are gonna benefit. It's night and squall. But you can just endlessly do arena battles. Like, endlessly. Non-stop. There's no currency. AKA bots. People using auto-clickers, macros, are going to abuse it. That's not ideal, right? So, or if the person that can no-life a game can just sit here for an hour doing this non-stop while, like, watching a movie or something on their computer or on their phone, just non-stop clicking arena, while the normal person who still wants to play and grind and be competitive but has a job or a family, I don't want to say normal, not that, and it's normal to have no job and, no it isn't. It's normal to have no family or whatever. It's normal to whatever. Everything's normal. Okay, that was bad terms, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Like, the average person cannot grind like crazy on something literally all day long. It's not like, okay, you should play for many hours, and if you want to be competitive, you gotta play. But this is another level of, bruh, you can literally just play endlessly or let a computer do it for you, and that's not good. I don't think that's good at all. It really is rough. And there is a top ranking here. Overall, and this is pretty cool, you could actually, like, hide characters in your roster when you're in the top rankings, which is super interesting. And then, yeah, there's smaller groups for daily rewards as well. Like, there's a daily ranking and a seasonal ranking. So I barely do arena right now. It's something I always forget, honestly. So that's my own fault if I don't place well. But it's a weird system, and it definitely could use some improvements. I think there should be some sort of limited currency. It's just weird that it's not. The other type of PvP that you might expect could be a clan versus clan, but that does not exist yet. It is supposed to be coming. So speaking of the clan system, no clan versus clan yet, but there is a clan raid. I do think the clan raid is kind of lazy, to be honest. It's just the bosses we fight, like, in the dungeons. So we have to keep going through and fighting bosses. And you'll just go in. I've already done my 2 attacks for today, and I focused on the limbs. So in this fight, which is not very clear, but it's advice that was given that's definitely true, you get the most points by attacking the limbs first and then the boss. But players are going to go in and just try to kill the boss as fast as possible so they can get the boss dead to move on to the next ones and think that's the best strategy, but really it's not. So it's okay. And I guess the idea of, like, once you're really diving in and you really start to play off the weather, play off the affinity that they choose it to be, you can really try to compete. And there is clan ranks. Like, you can see Celestials are number 4 right now. There's some others here. And CLS Grail is our other Celestials clan. 2 clans in the top 10 for Celestials. And that just means there are a lot of people smashing this boss well. But that's it. That's it for clan rankings. It's kind of weird. And then if people are doing that whole thing of ignoring the limbs and just smashing the boss quick, you're actually losing points. Because it's all about how much damage you do. So you want to damage the most amount of things as possible. And the other, I would say, negative thing about the clan system, this is my biggest complaint in the entire game, is this. Today's attendance, yesterday's attendance. So if your clan is full, 25 out of 25, and people log in, but they forget to click clan for the day. If maybe you're like, yeah, I don't want to do the, I know the clan raids stack up, which is nice. You could have up to 10. So you're like, yeah, it's fine. I'm not gonna do my clan raids today. I'm tired. I'm just gonna do that tomorrow. It's okay. Who cares? Whatever. Depending on your clan, it might not matter. But it hurts the entire clan if you just don't click the damn clan button once per day. Because then you cannot get 25 out of 25. I can promise you, as someone who's been a vice and a leader, and been very active, that many, many days we're yelling at people, someone go click the attendance. And when we're at 25 out of 25 and we keep getting, we're missing 1 or 2, it's very frustrating. The whole clan misses out on 1 summon. So I really hope that they will hear the feedback that people are complaining about this system and improve this. Either, I think the easiest thing is let it be 25 out of 25. Don't change the interface, let this be. But just make the clan member total be 30. So let this be 25 out of 25 for everyone to get a bonus, but the 25 out of 30 is your attendance requirement, instead of 25 out of 25, I should say. But that's my biggest complaint, is that they require that. So that's it for the clan system now. There's just overall, there's missions and group missions and solo missions to do every day. And you can go to the clan shop. The clan shop is just another place to get some resources, including, that's how I got the fire relic for Tristan. It's also the only place you can get the extra relics for the heroes that only come from Arena. So when it comes to the summoning system, there are 2 heroes, Florentinius and Sergius here, that only come from the Arena shop. So you can't summon those characters. So you also can only get their relics here, but in the clan shop for their additional elemental relics. Personally, I like to buy the relic summoning tickets as priority from all the shops, because those can be really important and it helps you get new legendary ones that can be game changers for some heroes. And yeah, still an interesting system there. So that leads me to talking about the summoning system. So the negative of the summoning system, I think, would be that the rate up isn't really, it says guaranteed summon after summoning 60, right? So no, it's not. So when the summon count reaches 0, you have a 50% chance to summon a legendary hero. There's not a guarantee. This is a lie. And a 50% chance that it's the rate up hero. It should just be like this says, right? The special summons. Guaranteed chance to, you'll have a 100% chance to summon a legendary hero. And then it should say, and a 50% chance that the hero will be the rate up hero. Why would you make guaranteed summon after 60? Oh my god, these banners don't even carry over. Every banner has their own separate pity. If it's a separate line, it's a separate pity, and it does not carry over from event to event, by the way. Like some games do. Some games, if it's, you know, like a special rate up, then the next time it's all the same currency is the same pity, like Watcher of Realms. Not here. Yeah, this is just a silly system. Why? When the countdown reaches 0, you have a 50% chance to summon a legendary hero. Then don't say there's a guaranteed summon after summoning 60. That's not true. It's a lie. However, let's see, you can see the details for the heroes when you click them. That's nice. I also like that the rate info is here. You can see how you like the chances to pull every hero. So there is some transparency there. There's also even deeper rate info that is like on their website for like everything in the game, whether it be what are your chances to level up a skill? What are your chances to get X item from X chest? They have all of that. So I definitely would say very positive on the sense, in the sense of transparency for stuff like that, which I know a lot of people appreciate. All right, so normal summons are just like your mystery shards for raid, low chances to get like just a rare, but every time you I guess you're not guaranteed a rare every temple. No, I definitely don't get one. Here you are though. You always want to do 10 pulls with the special summons because you're always guaranteed a rare in each summon of 10 at a time. Same thing with the relics. You're guaranteed at least a rare relic if you summon 10 at a time. So this is one of those games where you want to wait to do 10 pulls for everything, except if you are trying to hit a pity for a rate up that's about to end and it only says 4, 5, 6, whatever, just do your single pulls and hit the pity to see what happens, at least. Yeah. And then the dupe system, if you pull duplicates of heroes, there is the shard shop. You could exchange your duplicates of heroes for currency, kind of like Watcher of Realms. And then you can buy other relics and other heroes with that currency, which makes sense, except the relic is very overpriced. 52,000. It's too much. I don't know. I don't like it. Costs way too many to sacrifice. I think. Now let's see here. I'm looking for one for a certain uncommon that I don't see. Okay, fine. It's fine. They're never gonna give it to me. It's okay. It's fine. All right. Anyway, but yeah, same thing with legendaries. You can crunch legendaries, then buy another one, but it's of course dramatically more. Maybe a little too much more as well there. But you shouldn't do that first. If you get duplicates of heroes in this game, there's a chivalry system. So first, there's up to 10 spots here for duplicates, and this does require 1 copy for the legendaries or 20 of these universal stone things that we do get. They're called memory stones. The rare heroes take 2 copies of the hero for a lot of them, or maybe all of them, or 30 of these currencies. And then uncommons, which rares are like epics and uncommons are like rares, so don't be too surprised. The uncommons take 3 and 45 of these, which we don't actually get a lot of these. I'm actually kind of disappointed that we don't get more of those. So as far as resources go, that's something I would say could be better. I guess on the topic of resource management, gold is terrible. Now, I have 2 million gold. That's a sight to be in love with on my account because I haven't leveled up some more gear. I just farmed a bunch of Gorgos. So you farm this boss here to get gold and experience, and it's expensive. Like most games, leveling up a gear to max is expensive. But unfortunately, this game is like Raid, and when you want to swap piece of gear, it costs you to change the gear. I think that's ridiculous. It's Raid is the only other game I know that does that. Except I think some of the other more, I guess you would call them the greedy ones, like that Raid learned from. Like Summoner's War and Epic 7, I think, also do that. But no other. I mean, I've probably played 10, 15 other gachas besides those. None of them make you charge to swap gear, so that annoys me. And one other thing that I don't like about the gear setup here is, like, I'm trying to do a separate set for Anguish. I want to put him in an elemental set. Okay, cool. However, if I want to switch to set number 2, it won't copy the keepsakes from set number 1. I can't put the same keepsakes from set number 1 into set number 2. It moves it from one preset to another. Why can't you just leave the keepsakes in place and move the gear? Or leave some of the gear in place? Why does it have to be a completely separate loadout that has to be double the amount of resources? Like, I feel like this game is really bad with its resource management, and everything costs gold. You can't level up a hero without it costing a crap ton of gold. Like, if I want to take a hero from a much lower level up, it's not pretty. I mean, this is only a few levels, and that's 300,000 gold, which is a lot still for me in this game, I'd say. And I'm played for 30 days. That's ridiculous. And everything, when it comes to awakening stuff, it costs gold to just awaken a hero. Why? Can't you get the resource, you do it. You get the resource, you do it. You skill up a hero. It costs gold to skill up a hero. You do chivalry. It costs gold to why? So this is definitely a big feedback that I would push if I actually had any influence, but they don't seem to talk to content creators much or at all. I've never talked to a person yet. The gold system is ridiculous, and they need to take away the costs for some things. Everything requires a currency to transfer, and even so, like, obviously equipment crafting, it costs gold on top of all the materials to craft. And everything is just gold, 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 and it's not fun. I've already known people that quit because the gold chase is just too much, which I can completely understand. It's very frustrating. So fair enough. It is a frustrating thing. The other frustrating thing, I guess, would be stamina. So I think it just regenerates too slow. I think Wargasm, if you're watching, I know he calculated how fast the stamina recharges. I haven't caught it myself to notice exactly how much each one is and how long that takes, but it's slow. Like, I think once it maxes out, it's like 25 hours to max out stamina, which is crazy. To get it back to full from 0. No, that's just silly. And then to buy new stamina, it's a bit expensive, honestly, here. So you can buy from the shop, you can buy stamina. And then, but every time you buy it after like a couple, it gets more expensive, like how Dragonair did. So there's that. And I guess along with the idea of stamina and battles, let me actually pop into, okay, let's just go to the dungeon again. I'm just going to go to 9 because sometimes my 10 likes to fail. So here, when you want to do a battle, you can just do battles. So this is a huge plus. I think they did really good here is the multi-battles, you just do them. If you have stamina, you just do them. There's no extra ticket for multi-battles. I hate that. Now that I've played some other games that don't charge you for multi-battles, it's just part of, like, if you have stamina, you do multi-battles. Like, why does there have to be a separate currency? So definitely a thumbs up there. They did good with that for sure. If you have the stamina, you use it. I think the other thing, the other negative with this, with doing multi-battles and stamina, is if you're out of stamina and you need to get more, you're already on this page, you're about to do a repeat battle, you're like, ah, crap, I need more stamina. If you hit the plus sign to add more, it only takes you to the shop. So you can't just add from your inbox. If you have stuff in your inventory, like I purchased some packs, I have stamina. If I want to use the stamina, I have to go out of the fight completely, top up some stamina, go back into the boss fight to use it. Like, it should not be that many clicks, right? That's some bad UI. So that's definitely some critique I have as well. All right, I'm going to try to go through the rest of this quicker. It's so much more I could talk about, honestly. I'm trying to be efficient but thorough at the same time, which is why there's chapters. Okay, so events. The negative on the events is this. I would have said the events are really great, honestly, until they did this at the global launch. They added this special event here, which it has this series of battles, which for me and anyone that played for 30 days, it's not too bad. I did get stuck. The boars suck. I could almost beat it though. It gets high levels, and it's hard to get this currency. So I feel like this for a new player is just distracting and discouraging, because a new player should stick to the story, push your main campaign until you get stuck. When you get stuck, you go farm the new Plane of Beasts that you probably unlocked. You go farm the experience to level up your heroes that you probably unlocked Gorgos. When you get relics, you can unlock those. Oh my gosh, I'm stuck, but I unlocked Plane of Beasts. Let's level up a couple relics. This is what new players should be doing. They should not be doing this. They should not be trying to farm to get crazy amounts of currency for this event shop that has amazing guaranteed legendary ticket reward. This guarantees you a duplicate of a legendary. Very powerful. This is Guinevere's Frost Relic. Of course you gotta take the chance to get a free legendary artifact or relic, right? Oh wait, and there's rate up summons. There's skill ups. There's materials. There's so much here. This is amazing shop, but it's a distraction for a new player. And hell, I've been doing this for quite a few days and I only have 9,000 because I'm trying not to distract myself as well. And I don't think this was the best event to start with at a global launch. So yeah, I mean, if you're watching this video after that's over with, good. You missed it. It's for the best. If you start playing and this event does not come, trust me, it's all the same server, so that's a good thing. Overall, as a game, I realize I haven't said that yet. But if you missed that event, it's honestly a blessing. Don't be like, oh darn, I missed that amazing event where I could have got the free stuff. just take it as it's better, because this main story stuff is so important to push and the resources are so good. And if you get distracted trying to do stuff for that and wasting your stamina on that instead of stuff to build your core team, and you're just trying to get distracted by the shiny, it's not going to help your account early on. So that's bad. Other events are okay. This is really nice that they start off this is allowing a lot of people, right, some fun. So this is 60 days, I think it was then, of almost 50 something days of missions to encourage you to just go through the story and then to fight the bosses as you unlock them. Now, they let us get this again for people that had early access accounts like mine, so I'm able to just kind of go back and redo those battles and get a bunch of free stuff. And if you're a new player, this helps give you motivation to push your hard stories, which I haven't even done the hard stories yet. I don't know how people are in hell, but that's another thing. And yeah, and then they have the stamina consumption event. Using your stamina for the first week, you get a whole bunch of resources, and trust me, 4-star gear, be happy with it. Gear is rough in this game, so if getting this 4-star gear very early is smart. There's also this Monster Hunter ranking event, which is just about killing the most amount of enemies. So depending on your group you get stuck in, that could be really good or really bad. And there are some pretty decent rewards that go along the way, like even some rate up tickets here. And then there's, of course, ranking rewards depending on how you place, which include some summons as well. But yeah, they're okay. The events are fine. They're pretty typical. They do stuff like relic level up events. I realized there was a rate up. I'm stupid. I saved my summons remembering that there was a summoning event to use your summons for like a week period, but I remembered it was rate up. I already used my rate up and did my rate up. So that's a thing. But that's my own fault for bad memory. I should have waited. But yeah, I'm gonna wait. If you're a brand new player, I would wait the 1 week. I said this and the other thing too, to see what the events were anyway. And before getting into that silly event, try to pull your Guinevere, but wait a week so you can actually take advantage of any events that come, and then try to get some summons in the first place. But there's no reason to wait for the special summons. We haven't seen a normal summon event where you have to do your summons yet, although that could change, of course. We just haven't seen it yet. And it's definitely possible. That was only a 1-month cycle, and it was early access, so who knows what they're going to do now. All right, so I guess I should mention the other shops and spending. So the shops are really cool in the game for, I guess, let's go to, like, the arena shop I mentioned is a way to, if you grind out arena and you collect your daily, like, little, wherever you are on your dailies, you could collect a little bonus there. The shop's really good because you can get these heroes that you can only get from arena, which I can get right now. Oh gosh, Florentinius or Sergius. That's a debate on its own, which I think me and Audouin might do a video discussing the two heroes and seeing which one should we pick. And you also can get more relic tickets here, which is what I did first. And then you can, get duplicates of, like, Tristan, who's amazing, honestly. He might be a bit underrated when people talk about good heroes. Audouin has used him push all the content as he's playing free-to-play, and Tristan's been amazing. And I have no regrets getting the Flame Relic from the clan shop. When it comes to the paid shops, well, there is some other stuff that's not paid. Just a quick note here, in the monthly package section, there's this one hidden. If you want to buy character reset stones, you could buy those in the monthly shop area, which is pretty cool. You reset everything except chivalry, though, which is rough. Because even if you use the universal currency, you don't get that back. So keep that in mind, but still really cool. You get most of it back. You don't get all of the gold, though. So you'll be a little bit gold short. But it's still nice to be able to get stuff to build someone else. If you get someone exciting, like you pull that Bedivere, and you want to temporarily reset your other DPS you were using, no shame there. I would say that as a light spender, low spender, mid spender, or I guess a big spender, the pack size seem okay. Like, there's this normal clear package that was like 20 bucks, 15 bucks, where you get a ton of diamonds, which to me equals summons early on. I think using your diamonds for summons for the first week is still smart. except saving for the battle pass to use 2000 there is really good. But there's also a guaranteed legendary hero. You summon a random legendary from that. Then the hard clear package is even better. This is only like 25 bucks and US dollars. And this gives you a ton of rate up tickets and diamonds, which can be stamina and or, of course, summons. And then it ends with the selector ticket for relics. Like if you can guarantee yourself like Morgan's Frost Relic, or I know people like Jillian's Frost Relic as well if you have her. But there's probably some others that would stick out, but I think those might be some of the better ones. But yeah, you can choose a relic. So which one should you choose if you buy this pack? That should be another video as well. There's an estate power-up pack, which will take a while because it takes a long time to upgrade your castle. But that does have a legendary hero bonus at the end. I think all of those are amazing value, honestly. Absolutely, if you're going to be a spender, getting those I think would be a priority. The daily perks packs are okay, but I didn't love them. Sorry, I'm in lei and not US dollars, so it's a little confusing, but it's only like a couple bucks for the first one. This was like, what, $12 or something? $15 for the middle one, and the other one. It's okay, but I wasn't obsessed with it. But it is, you get 250 stamina just every day for 14 days. 100 extra stamina a day. I guess it's okay. I don't know. I guess. It just didn't feel as good. I felt like these were just way more fun and exciting for my spending needs, so I did those. We do occasionally get really good deals in the pop-ups here. Wait, where are the pop-ups? There's no pop-ups. That's not possible. Pop-up offers. I have no pop-up offers right now? That's gotta be a bug. I have no pop-up offers right now. It's never happened. That's gotta be an error. There's no way they don't have pop-ups. Anyway, there are pop-ups, and sometimes they're really good, and sometimes they include packs with diamonds, not just spending money. So I think that's really great. There's also this Forbidden Dungeon shop. Don't forget about that. You can get relic tickets, you can get pedestals, you can get memory stones, and yeah, it's definitely a good place to spend some currency. But the currency directly from the Forbidden Dungeon. But that's another, oh, there's so many things that we haven't even mentioned. I'm just trying to give my opinions more so than a guide. Oh god. Sorry, this is so long, but I feel like I didn't even talk about half of it yet, but okay, so does the game, oh yeah, and sorry, yes, there's a battle pass. People always ask that. Is there a battle pass? Yes, there's a free battle pass. The commander pass is with 200 diamonds, and the champion pass is like 20 bucks, I think. I don't remember now. I think it was 20 bucks. But very good value for the battle pass. I would definitely buy that if you're a spender. All right. So, what about, I'm going to have two more things to say. We're going to talk about, is this worth covering and playing as a content creator? And then overall, would I recommend the game? Will I keep playing? Do I really want to keep playing? Am I going to stop soon? What are my thoughts there? So first off, as a content creator, is the game interesting to cover? Yes. There's so much. Like, the simplest thing of, like, getting stuck on, or, like, doing the Forbidden Dungeon, which rotates with seasons. Getting stuck on floor 30, do a video on that. People ask about, I'm stuck on floor 47, can you help me? You're like, oh, I should make a video on that. The dungeons, there's so many dungeons in the game to dive into for content. There are the favorite ones here, which are the like faction wars type thing, which is for the awakenings of your heroes, which give them stats and allow them spots for other types of gear. So there's just a lot. There are plenty of things to keep a player busy and plenty of things for a content creator to cover. So definitely a thumbs up as far as that goes. And when it comes to a content creator program, they do have this Creator Plus thing right now. I also heard there's this Creator M program as well, but I haven't, like, they haven't really advertised for creators to do that much besides some other creators promoting it. But this is a program based on supporting purchases. Like, you get a percentage based on what your supporters spend. So it's like a revenue share type program, which is interesting. But anyone can support a creator and it does benefit. You don't have to be a spender to benefit. So with that in mind, if you guys haven't picked a creator to support and you like my content, please click my link in the description or the pinned comment. I have my supporter link always posted, and this is my full-time job, so it's greatly appreciated. And even if you're, again, spender or not spender alike, it all is a way to help the creator and help you guys get better rewards, because they do this cool thing with coupons. So a content creator will do a task, like I've already submitted my task for posting a dungeon video, and which I shared my Gorgos 10 one I was going to do anyway. And I'll get coupons to give back to you guys, which are a lot, like 50 or something crazy. But I think you get more depending on your supporters. The more supporters you have, the more coupons you get, it said. So yeah, like we'll get like codes to share back to the community for free stuff, which I know it involves stamina, which is something we all desperately need. So that is definitely a good one. But overall, I would say the creator program is lacking in the sense of a personal experience. There is no person we talk to or special place to make us feel special, so to speak, which is fine at the end of the day, I guess. But it is weird to me that there's not more of a personal experience as a content creator to directly reach out to someone that we know has our back, or if we have issues that we need to arise. Like, for example, when you put in a creator ID, if you live in the UK, you can't support a non-UK creator. There's only like 3 of them. So like, if you live in the UK, you can't put me as your supporter. That's gotta be a bug. But we have no one to really talk to about that except for reporting it as a bug in general. So that's a little bit weird. So if you are a content creator and you're used to content creator programs that are very like interactive, this is not the case. But this program itself has amazing potential. If you can grow your channel to hit the different tiers here, this is like 500 subscribers, 5,000, 10,000, and 100,000. Even just hitting the 5,000 or 10,000 is pretty solid. It has amazing potential. So certainly something to consider. And okay. All right. So final thoughts. Do I love the game in the end? Am I still meh? I think I'm mostly in love. Like I said, I didn't fall in love instantly, so there's that. But I really think the game is cool. I genuinely do. I think the mechanics of these boss fights are really interesting. The heroes are well designed. The whole relic system, the weather, all that stuff I think is so interesting. So I absolutely say yes. It seems like a really great game with really good game mechanics. Really great potential. This is the early global release, so don't be too, I would say try not to be too judgmental about things so far. There's so much subject to change. In the early access, they were constantly rebalancing heroes, which is definitely a good thing to see. So hopefully they will continue to do that, but well in the future. Yeah, I think I am here to stay for now, unless I get given a reason not to be, right? Like I plan on posting content every day, 1 or 2 videos a day. This is going to be the main game I make sure I'm posting daily content on. Although I guess you could say I kind of have 2 main games with Watcher as well, but I think this is more the game I'm heavily playing when I have extra time. It's this game right now. It's something I want to push. And as you see, I have a day 32 account compared to people that are just started with global at day 4. So personally, I'm actually holding back and not playing too fast. So I feel like you guys will be able to catch up to me in a week or 2, like literally, not even kidding. Where I'm at in the game is probably only 2 to 3 weeks progress for someone that's a really good grinder, even if you're free to play. If you're a big spender, you're probably going to catch up to me in a week. So I'm purposefully slowing down a little bit so my account won't look too crazy when I start to showcase some of the other dungeons and spots I'm stuck at. So maybe the rest of the global launch people will be at the same spot. But yeah, I do really enjoy this game now. It's something I want to have open on my screen. I want to be constantly playing it. I want to be improving things and grinding the resources. So I can tell I like it. And even though I didn't have a great first impression, and I can't quite put my finger on exactly why that was, besides just like the story, which is not the only reason. There was just something, I think I was pleasantly surprised to see how much the game grew on me. And I think if anything, that just shows how good the game really is. If it can turn you around from feeling like meh and like, I kind of hate this, honestly, which I had to admit for the first few days. If it turns you around from that feeling and you realize how good the game really is, I think that shows even better. I think, you know, like the quality and the potential of the game. So join me, guys, if you haven't already. Let me know if you have questions in the comments below. And feel free to always let me know what videos you want me to make. And stay tuned for an ultimate beginner's guide where I kind of go through everything, but in the form of advice. So thank you guys for watching this super long video. Hope it was helpful and you enjoyed the conversation. And always feel free to leave suggestions for the game in the suggestions on Discord or in the forums. That's a little weird. Everything is forum based, but yeah. Again, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.